consider yourself a boy.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a boy. I'm not a girl. Like, what?
That video posted online has now sparked an investigation with the Toronto District School Board. Students say the school's hallway monitor was telling another teen who is transgender which washroom they should be using. Students say this is an ongoing issue that the TDSB needs to address.
If any other guy walked down the hall, would you tell them to go to the gender-neutral bathroom?
No, not at all.
Right, so why does Ezra have to go to the gender-neutral bathroom?
Because that's how it's set up here.
Ezra, the student in the video who is transgender and uses the pronouns they and he, says they were brought to tears.
He was saying, you know, you were not born a boy, so you need to use a different bathroom.
I think just the way that he was acting about it was like kind of belittling to Ezra's gender identity.
CityNews isn't identifying the school, and the teens asked that we only use their first name, including Cal, who was by Ezra's side during Tuesday's incident.
It felt a bit like an interrogation. I felt like it was personally very kind of embarrassing to be asked all of like these personal questions about my own like information in front of like people that I didn't even know. It was very uncomfortable and like very scary as well.
Neither of the three parties knew the interaction was being recorded. In the video, the hallway monitor explains he isn't in charge of the rules and that the school has 3 bathrooms, one for boys, girls, and one that's gender neutral.
That's so there's no confusion or anybody gets upset. Because boy could go in there and be upset, right? Over the case that, because it's happened before. That's why.
Students say they're not putting blame on the hallway monitor, adding the video was shared online because this wasn't an isolated incident, and the school dismissed their complaints.
I've thrown up multiple times in those bathrooms because of anxiety of using that bathroom.
The students say they want more education for staff. A spokesperson with the TDSB says specifics can't be discussed during the investigation, but it does have guidelines for transgender and gender non-conforming students and staff. Quote, all staff and students have a right to safe restroom facilities and the right to use a washroom that best corresponds to their gender identity regardless of their sex assigned at birth. And occasionally the TDSB needs to remind its staff of their training regarding our best practices.
There's very little precedent for actual action taken against people who have harassed trans students, people who have like belittled their identities, and I just like ideally I think people will start to understand that, and hopefully even if it's on a very small scale, change will happen.
Ezra says they've received lots of support since that video was released, adding that it's helped to address some of the anxiety that they've been having. Now, there's much more to the story. For that and for the full 3-minute video, you can head to our website, citynews.ca. In Toronto, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.